What if Anakin Skywalker mastered all light side force abilities? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Obi-Wan sighs as he looks through Qui-Gon's quarters, that now and forever will remain empty, at least until a new Jedi Master claims it. For now, the task falls onto him to clean it up and remove the last of his possessions. While some of the temple guards had offered to handle the work for him, it was an offer he refused. He owes his master at least that. Obi-Wan walks through the room with a box in hand as he begins picking things up. There isn't much, and most of it fits in the box. Soon the tables and desks are cleared, but as Obi-Wan prepares to leave, he recalls an old saying by Qui-Gon. A second look always pays off. He pauses and begins looking through some places that some Jedi wouldn't expect. Under the bed, hidden between desks, and in other cramped areas. These efforts pay off, as he soon gets his hands on a datapad containing Qui-Gon's notes. It is no secret that his master preferred the practice of the living force over the traditional Jedi code. As Obi-Wan looks through this datapad, he sees just how much these studies have carried him. There are lists of planets and places Qui-Gon had visited over the years, learning different abilities and understanding the Force. He even recalls going to a few of these places with his late master. A smile forms on Obi-Wan's lips as he thinks back to that time. He is about to add the datapad to the pile of Qui-Gon's things, when another thought crosses his mind. What if this might be used to teach Anakin? If what he said is true, and the boy is indeed the chosen one, he cannot be trained like a normal Jedi. In a way, it is the final gift his master had given him. The wind howls across the Jedi Temple's landing platform as Anakin prepares for his journey with Obi-Wan, holding up the datapad for Anakin to see as he had explained everything to the young Jedi.
This was Qui-Gon's vision. He always believed the Jedi had lost something, that our connection to the Force had become incomplete. This is how he learned, not in the temple, but with people.
I feel it too. It's like there's something more out there. Something we've forgotten.
I should be training you myself, but I can't shake the feeling that this is what Qui-Gon would have wanted. Perhaps this is where we're meant to find him again.
I miss him too.
Behind them stands Yoda and a handful of Jedi Masters who wish to see them off. While none will accompany them for the entire journey, some were intrigued by the notes Qui-Gon left and planned their own journeys.
A rare path, this is. Strong you are, but wisdom greater than power, it is. Good luck on your journey, and may the Force be with you.
We'll be checking in on you from time to time, so stay out of trouble. As the ship lifts off, Anakin closes his eyes. For the first time in a long time, he feels Qui-Gon's presence, warm and guiding. Their first stop is Jeddah. The air is thick with incense and dust as Anakin kneels before the temple of the Kyber. The Guardians of the Wills chant around him, their voices deep and resonant, weaving through the Force like ripples in water. Baze Malbus watches from a distance, skeptical, but Chirrut Imwe smiles knowingly.
He has the fire of a warrior, but his light is unfocused.
Anakin is blindfolded as they have him march through the temple, evading the obstacles and training droids they lay out for him. Anakin clenches his fists. He can feel the Force swirling here, but it is different from the Jedi Temple. Older, purer. The Guardians instruct him to open himself, not just to the Force, but to the light within. For hours he meditates. At first, all he finds is frustration. The light is elusive, slipping between his fingers, and he fails to avoid the obstacles they lay out for him. But Chirrut continues to encourage. Taking him out to the busy streets, he has him navigate the market and city. But he doesn't just have him move. He tells him to feel the people, not just as simple beings, but as children of the Force. By sensing their presence, he can avoid them, even before they make his move. When they test him again, Anakin wanders through the halls.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
He takes a deep breath and sees a brilliant light through his blindfold. It is as if the world is bathed in a golden hue, letting him see through and then covering each person, each obstacle, and traps. With that, he slides through them with ease. By the end, Anakin watches as Obi-Wan, Chirrut, and Baze all clap. Anakin opens his eyes, and for a moment, he swears he sees Qui-Gon standing among the Guardians, smiling. Next, they journey to the ancient ruins of Ossus, which whisper of long-forgotten Jedi knowledge. Here, Anakin learns from the last remaining scholars of the lost Jedi Order, those who preserved the oldest teachings, untouched by war. Plo Koon walks beside him through the crumbling halls.
The Jedi teach restraint in all things, but healing requires more. Here, your emotions are your greatest tool and your greatest weakness.
Anakin watches as an elder Jedi places their hands over an injured pilgrim. The wound, deep and ragged, begins to close, skin knitting together as golden energy hums through the air.
You see how he works? It is slow, but methodical. He uses his willpower, love, and passion to heal. But he doesn't let it overwhelm him. To rush and act without thinking here can leave a bone to mend improperly, or worse.
Days turn into weeks as Anakin learns the art of force healing. It is unlike anything he's done before, demanding more than just skill, but selflessness and caution. While he initially struggles, Master Plo finds a different way to connect with him. He takes Anakin to his starfighter and has him conduct repairs on it. He explains that healing is like engineering. It requires a steady hand and an understanding of what you are doing, and careful use of your tools. This helps Anakin throw himself into his training, reviewing old texts with renewed vigor and studying the flow of the Force within a body. When Obi-Wan is wounded in a training exercise, Anakin instinctively reaches for the Force. His hands glow, warmth spreading through the wound. Obi-Wan tenses, then exhales as the pain vanishes. Tython is raw, untouched. The Force here is alive, coursing through the mountains and valleys. Quinlan Vos leads Anakin through the temples of the first Jedi, showing him records that predate even the Republic.
Force severance. It's rare, dangerous, but in the right hands, it can cut the darkness away from someone entirely.
You mean it can redeem a Sith?
Or destroy them. Creation and destruction are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other, and one cannot always see the difference.
The weight of that responsibility settles on him. The Jedi speak of balance, but here, in the birthplace of their order, Anakin wonders if true balance means something different. He trains in battle meditation, feeling the pulse of thousands of lives as if they were his own. He can sense emotions, guide strategies, and inspire hope across entire battlefields. Quinlan shows Anakin the ruins of ancient battles, where he hears the faint stirrings of souls, the broken remnants of the mutated Rakatans, all changed and altered as the Force changed around them. One night, as he meditates alone, a vision comes to him. Visions of the past, where he sees the ancient Jedi Order and their wars with the Infinite Empire. He sees how heroes rose and fell, how these vile Rakatans were altered by the same power they abused, and how all of this paved the way for the rise of the Republic and the Jedi Order, creation and destruction. Among the towering warshear trees, Wookiee shamans teach Anakin to see the universe as it truly is, not just through the Force, but through shatterpoints. He spars with Kit Fisto and Mace Windu on a jungle plateau, their lightsabers clashing in rapid bursts. The point of Shatterpoint is to see the Force as fluid, something that's ever-changing but allows him to pick these changes up amidst the sea of chaos. That is why these two Jedi were selected, for their great differences. One is aggressive and stern, the other easygoing and serene. Two opposite ends, and Anakin is meant to make sense of that amidst the chaos. They press him relentlessly, their attacks raining down on him and driving him to the defensive. But as the fight goes on, Anakin sees it. Tiny fractures in Kit's stance, micro-movements that reveal exactly where he will move next. Rather than defend, he kicks Mace back and rushes in. A moment later, Anakin's saber is at Kit's throat.
Fast learner.
Deep within Ilum's frozen caves, Anakin kneels before a kyber crystal. The cold bites at his skin, but his focus is absolute. He meditates, waiting. Then, a pulse. His crystal calls to him. As he reaches out, the cave shifts. He sees visions, his past, his future, Padme's smile, Obi-Wan's concern. A shadow looms behind him. The vision tests him, but he does not waver. He chooses his path. The crystal hums in his palm, glowing brilliant white blue. His connection to the Force, to himself, is stronger than ever. Anakin steps out of the cave, lightsaber igniting the icy air. Obi-Wan and the others watch in quiet awe. He is not the same Jedi who left Coruscant. He is something more. But even with this success, chaos continues to brew in the galaxy as it teeters ever closer to war. Though the Naboo crisis was averted, it was only the prelude to further chaos as it set in motion a chain of events that will unravel the galaxy. Though Palpatine promises to strengthen the Republic, he has his work cut out for him. Seeing how lightly the Trade Federation got off, other corporate giants are emboldened and begin to strengthen their hold on their client states to prevent the Jedi from investigating or the Republic from trying to look into their sordid activity. This leads to widespread oppression from people across the galaxy, border conflicts, and an increasing sense that the Republic no longer stands up for its people. As discontent grows, the Jedi are hard-pressed to try and maintain the peace. Each time they solve a crisis, another one emerges. As he completes his intensive training, Anakin joins these efforts to fight the growing oppression. His skills are impressive, and there is a lot he contributes to these efforts. He helps Barriss and Luminara as healers. He serves on the front lines with Mace against pirates, and he strategizes with the Council using his shatter points to determine weak spots. Despite that, Anakin is only a single Jedi, and there is only so much he can do. Even he begins to feel overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of their task. He struggles to deal with all these organizations that begin gathering strength and combining their efforts. Soon the talk of war is in everyone's ear. The Republic introduces a bill to rearm and create its army, and from there, things snowball. Soon enough, a battle takes place on Geonosis, one the Jedi are woefully unprepared for. Though Anakin acquits himself well, using everything he's learned to become a force of nature on the battlefield. He sweeps through waves of droids almost single-handedly and protects his fellow Jedi. However, this war takes a toll on him, as though he is skilled. He's also badly outnumbered, and nearly overwhelmed by the sheer numbers which allow Dooku to escape. The lesson of just how dangerous the CIS is stuck with Anakin. Now, with the war raging, Anakin finds himself on the front lines. He soon finds that command suits him, as he enjoys leading troops from the front, sweeping through hordes of droids. His Shatterpoint and Force Judgment abilities make him the bane of the battlefield, while his healing and connection with the living Force allow him to see the enemy in ways his soldiers can't. Meanwhile, his battle meditation makes his army a force like no other, crushing the droids they encounter. But despite his success, the war initially favors the CIS, as despite the Jedi being worth many battle droids, the sheer numbers of them overwhelm them and their clones. More importantly, they strike hard at Republic logistics centers. Shipyards, medical centers, and supply depots are all targeted. This makes fighting the war impossible, as the Republic holds on by the skin of its teeth. Try as they might, they cannot match the organizational skills of the Separatist Council. The air on Dathomir is thick with the scent of damp earth and something darker, an ancient power that lingers in the crimson fog. Anakin stands at the heart of the ruined Night Sister village. He didn't know why he was here, but the Force had called him during meditation, urging him to visit this place, and yet he was expected. A procession of Night Sisters emerge from the mist, draped in dark robes, their pale faces painted in ritual markings. Their weapons are ready, bows ready to fire and vibroblades prepared to strike. At their head, cloaked in an eerie green aura, walks Mother Talzin. Her red eyes gleam with amusement as she steps forward.
Ah, the Chosen One. You shine like a beacon, child. But tell me, why do you tremble? Do you fear us?
I'm not afraid of you.
We shall see.
Suddenly, her warriors spring forward and attack, weapons flashing dangerously. Anakin stands ready, blocking each of their strikes as they swarm him, and then throwing a powerful force wave that sends them flying back. He glances around and begins to dodge and sidestep their attacks as arrows rain down on him. From the chaos, others swing knives at him, but these are shattered by his weapon before he unleashes a burst of Force Judgment. Talzin watches all of this from the sidelines, observing his power. He is stronger than any Jedi or Sith she's ever encountered. Yet, the question remains, why was he brought here? To test him, or to test them? The truth is that Palpatine is trying to tie up loose ends. With the Night Sisters still active, they could undermine his plans. While Anakin remains a powerful force, he could be dangerous unless corrupted. This would allow him to hit two birds with one stone.
Your power is built on bloodshed. You are trying to profit off this war.
And the Republic's power is built on peace? Tell me, Anakin Skywalker, is that what you have seen on your travels?
The Night Sisters begin to chant. The ground trembles as twisted spirits rise from the earth, spectral remnants of fallen sisters, their bodies writhing with unnatural darkness. Anakin's mind floods with visions. Jeddah burning under Imperial boots. Ossus lost to time. Tython scarred by ancient wars. He sees the Infinite Empire. Rakatan warlords ruling over slaves, their power unchecked, including Kashyyyk.
Look at the galaxy's history. Where has the light ever conquered? The strong may impose their will. The weak suffer. This is the truth. But you, Chosen One, you could rewrite that truth.
The specters screech, lunging toward him. Anakin doesn't hesitate. He closes his eyes, reaching deep into the Force, summoning the light. A golden glow erupts from his body, bathing the battlefield in radiance. The dark spirits recoil, their twisted forms unraveling, burned away by purity itself. The Night Sisters stagger back, shielding their eyes. But Talzin does not move.
Impressive. But tell me, Anakin, can your light change history? Can it stop what is coming?
She gestures, and the Force twists. Anakin gasps as visions slam into him. He sees the Clone Wars spiraling into chaos, Jedi falling, Republic soldiers burning, corruption spreading through the Senate.
Why are you showing me this?
Call it insurance. You have the power to destroy my clan, and I have no idea what brought you here. But some information might convince you to leave us in peace.
I suppose this will mean you will also halt your raids on Republic space.
Very well.
She leans closer and taps his forehead as memories begin to flood in. Something vast. An ancient starforge hidden deep in the void. The gateway is hidden in the galaxy, but the map may be on Dathomir.
As I told you, Skywalker, the dark side brings about change, and with this war going on, there is much opportunity for the Republic to fall. But if you had the power to reshape the galaxy, would you?
The dark side doesn't change things. It consumes them.
Talzin smiles as she steps back into the shadows. The Night Sisters vanish with her, fading into mist. The battle is over before it begins. At first, Anakin fully intends to honor his idea and refuses to even consider using the power that Talzin offers him. But as the war stretches on, relentless, no matter how many droids they destroy, the Separatists build more. Every battle won is followed by an even bloodier one. Though the Republic is holding its ground and even advancing in some places, it is difficult to justify the horrific toll they are paying for these victories. Entire planets are laid to waste, and the civilian population is forced to become refugees, fleeing inwards, where the inner core is ill-prepared to deal with them. Anakin finds himself in the center of this chaos, helping in whatever way he can. He spends his time on the front line, but also in the healing tents to tend to the wounded, organize relief efforts, and negotiation efforts to alleviate their burdens. It is only partially successful, and even these small victories do not put him at ease. He soon finds himself questioning everything. How long can they fight a war they aren't allowed to win? The Jedi were nearly wiped out on Geonosis. Now he is witnessing these same efforts all across the galaxy. The whispers of Mother Talzin still haunt him. The strong impose their will. The weak suffer. At first, he refuses her offer. The power hidden in the shadows of history was dangerous, corrupting. But as the war spirals further out of control, he begins to wonder if this might be their only chance at victory. And so, For the first time, Anakin willingly seeks out the darkness. He meditates, thinking back to the memory Talzin provided him of the Infinity Gate that leads to this ancient forge. If he is to meditate enough, he will be able to find it. He brings this issue to the Jedi, and later the Chancellor, who provides many mixed ideas. Palpatine is completely on board with using such a weapon to gain an advantage. He says that Anakin must look at the big picture, and using it will allow them to turn the tide against the CIS. The Jedi are less certain. While they can see the advantages, the stories they've heard of the Starforge do not paint a good picture. They warn that this cure may be even worse than the disease, and unleashing it into the galaxy could bring about serious trouble. Anakin is about to put the matter to rest when Palpatine summons him to discuss the matter privately.
A most fascinating discovery, my boy. A relic of unimaginable power, hidden away for millennia. And now, at last, it is within our grasp. You may have won us the war.
The Jedi Council doesn't trust it. They say the Starforge nearly consumed the last civilization that tried to use it. Even Revan was wary of it.
The Council fears what it cannot control, always clinging to their precious dogma, even as the Republic burns around them. Meanwhile, the galaxy continues to fall apart. But how many more Jedi must fall? How many more clone troopers must die before we embrace the means to end this war?
I want to end this war too, but I'm not blind. This thing, it's dangerous.
Of course, my dear boy, and I would never ask you to do something you are not ready for. But we must still secure this weapon to ensure it does not fall into the wrong hands. And I had hoped you would be the one to lead this mission.
Me?
Who better? You are the chosen one, Anakin. You are meant to bring balance, to wield power others cannot. If anyone can harness the Forge's potential for good, it is you. But if you truly believe this path is too dangerous, I will respect your judgment. And if, force forbid, we lose, at least we can say we fought honorably.
I suppose it will not hurt to try and learn more about the Starforge. Dathomir is no less eerie the second time. The red mist swirls around the strike team, carrying whispers in languages long forgotten. But Anakin finally takes Talzin up on her offer, and she provides him with what information she can that leads him towards it. Soon, Anakin stands before the Infinity Gate, an ancient Rakatan construct buried beneath the world's surface. It hums with power, a gateway to another place. Obi-Wan and Plo Koon stand at his side, their unease evident. Even Quinlan Voss shifts nervously.
The Rakatans were destroyers, Anakin. Whatever they built, it was never meant to serve the light.
Neither were the droids slaughtering our troops. We should at least make sure this weapon never falls into the wrong hands. Palpatine's special authorization has fast-tracked this mission. The Chancellor made his stance clear. If this relic can help us win the war, we must use it. Anakin steps forward and places his hand on the Infinity Gate's control panel. It erupts with light. A moment later, the Jedi vanish, transported across the stars. When Anakin and his team reappear, they stand in the heart of a long-dead empire. The Starforge looms above them, bigger than any station Anakin has ever seen. Its surface pulses with unnatural energy. The Force here is wrong. Anakin staggers, pressing a hand to his temple. The darkness is not just present here. It is woven into the forge itself. They step forward cautiously. As they explore, automated defenses activate, but Anakin reaches out with the Force, and they stop. The forge recognizes him. It knows his power, and it tries to know him more, whispering to his ear, telling him to turn its weapons on his comrades.
This place is steeped in the dark side. Whatever it offers, it's not worth the cost.
But Anakin isn't listening. His eyes are locked on the assembly lines below. A vast array of war machines is waiting. Weapons, ships, machines that would dwarf anything the CIS has. We could mass-produce ships and droids faster than the Separatists. The Republic wouldn't just win the war, Kenobi.
we'd crush the enemy. And at what cost? If the dark side fuels this place, we can control it. Can we?
Anakin opens his mouth, but he can feel the Starforge whispering to him, telling him he was made for greater things, to unleash the power of this forge, and to end the war. As they run through his mind, he takes a deep breath, ignoring the temptation, the insistence, and the threats, and strikes at the heart of darkness. The forge pulses again, its energy swirling around him, trying to creep into his very being. But Anakin has mastered techniques the Jedi never dared explore. He closes his eyes, reaching deep into the Force. The others watch, tense as the raw darkness rises like a storm. He calls on the light side, channeling the techniques he's learned on Jedha and Ossus, pouring radiant energy into the structure. The forge shudders. The darkness recoils, burning away like mist under a rising sun. But the effort is agonizing. The Starforge is ancient, entrenched in darkness beyond imagination. The darkness fights back, clawing at him, dragging him into its depths. His breath grows ragged, his skin pale. The toll is immense.
Enough, Anakin. You're giving too much of yourself.
Anakin, this forge will be the death of you. Balance, Anakin. You taught yourself to work with the Force, not against it. Don't make the same mistake the Sith do.
As he continues fighting against the forge, he can see the cracks forming in its armor, its power weakening. If he truly wishes to control it, he will need to strike harder, to break through the gaps and shatter it. Anakin clenches his fists, channeling that same energy and preparing to strike at it. He's tempted to take it then and there, but then he falters. He feels the doubt in his friends, those who had confidently guided him and taught him about the ancient ways of the Jedi, now doubt him here. They wonder whether it was worth it, or if it can be saved. Maybe the Jedi are right. Maybe this place can never be tamed. Maybe he is straying too close to the edge. But then, a presence surges into the chamber, a dark wave of power.
I expected more from you, my soon-to-be apprentice. All this power at your fingertips, and you hesitate. Do you truly think the Jedi will ever let you be what you are meant to be?
The Jedi whirl around as Palpatine strides into the chamber, his presence oppressive, suffocating. He glares at Anakin, his expression one of cold disappointment.
I am not, and will never be, your apprentice.
Palpatine's face twists in fury. A storm of red lightning explodes from his fingertips, crackling through the air toward Anakin. The attack is stronger than he expected, throwing him back as the other Jedi gasp. They catch stray bolts and stumble aside as Palpatine draws on the dark side and unleashes it upon them at once. They scatter and move in different directions, trying to strike him down. Yet as they rush at him, Palpatine laughs and springs forward, interpreting their attacks with inhuman speed. His lightsaber is barely seen by them as he checks their attacks. Anakin grunts and rises to his feet, starting to advance when Palpatine prepares to unleash another wave of dark energy. The impact sends a shockwave through the chamber, and Palpatine blinks as Anakin springs toward him. He unleashes a burst of Force judgment that Palpatine sidesteps and rains down attacks on him. Yet Palpatine checks these attacks. In the Starforge, he can summon the dark energies to enhance his powers. Palpatine's crimson blade clashes against Anakin's blue. Sparks fly, the hum of the sabers deafening. The other Jedi ignite their weapons, surrounding the Sith Lord. Quinlan moves from side to side, striking at Palpatine's flank in a disorienting zigzag pattern, and then thrusting forward like a viper. He stops the attack, barely, just as Obi-Wan comes in. The Jedi Master is cautious, but fierce. He continues to advance on him slowly, stepping towards him. The dark energies do not affect him as he begins a slow but inexorable advance towards him. Master Plo comes from the other side, sweeping his lightsaber and throwing bursts of Force judgment aimed at disabling Palpatine. All it does is knock him off balance as Anakin comes at him again. Palpatine is powerful. The darkness of the Forge surges around him, feeding him, amplifying his speed, his strength. Obi-Wan, Plo Koon, and Quinlan Vos press the attack. Palpatine deflects, twirling and striking with blinding speed, but the Jedi are relentless. And Anakin fights through the darkness. Though Palpatine lets the darkness bleed out, using it like a weapon to throw against them, Anakin pushes it back. He reaches deep into the Force, and then he unleashes it. Not at Palpatine, but at the Starforge itself, ripping through its defenses and sending the entire station shaking as it begins to break apart.
No, you fool! Do you realize what you've done?
Palpatine rushes forward, lightsaber in hand, but Anakin is faster as he unleashes a blinding light of Force energy. It strikes Palpatine head-on, and he immediately feels a burning sensation. Force severance. The darkness clinging to Palpatine rips away. Palpatine stumbles as his power begins to falter, draining away as he desperately tries to summon his powers, but feels nothing. The dark side has left him. Before he can react, Quinlan springs forward, kicks him across the face, and sends him sprawling to the ground. As he falls, they sling him over their shoulders and drag him away. When they return to Coruscant, they explain everything that happened, saying how Palpatine tried to attack them despite determining the Starforge was too dangerous to use. Even without proof of his role in the Clone Wars, his dark powers and the fact that he tried to interfere in such a way were enough to cast doubt on his legitimacy. Palpatine is stripped of his powers, and seeing this, Dooku determines that his best course of action is to make peace, ending the war prematurely. Seeing how powerful, controlled, and disciplined Anakin has become, the Jedi make him a master and grant him a seat on the council. Before long, he'll surely become a Grand Master. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.